Right, so let's talk about the properties of triangles. Now, this theorem that I'm going to talk about is very, very important and you need to know it. Right, so here we have a triangle. Now, the triangle is ABC and it has angles, angle X, angle Y, and angle Z. Right, so the theorem of triangle number 1, it states that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle must add up to 180. So it says the sum, meaning we are adding the sum of interior angles. Now we're going to focus on these words very carefully. So the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Right. So the sum, meaning we're talking about adding, of interior. Now interior means inside. So we're talking about the inside angles of a triangle adding up to 180 degrees. Right, what does this mean in a mathematical form? It means that the angles inside this triangle, it's 3 of them, so it means that both 3 of them, that English is very rough. 3 of these angles, when I add them, they must give me 180 degrees. Meaning, angle A, which is equal to X, plus angle B, which is equal to Y, plus angle C, which is equal to Z. When I add them, they must give me 180 degrees. Now, this is a statement. Now, how do we write our reason? Our reason is sum of int angles of a triangle. Other teachers use 3 angles of a triangle. You are correct. So you can say sum of interior angles of a triangle, or you can use 3 angles of a triangle. So this is our reason. Right, so now we're substituting. So angle A is X, angle B is Y, angle C is Z, which is equal to 180 degrees. So here I was explaining in terms of the variables. Now you will be calculating in terms of numbers. You'll be finding the value of X, Y, and Z while you're given numbers. So that's what this theorem is all about. It states that inside a triangle, you have 3 interior angles, meaning you have angles inside a triangle. Now, these 3 angles, when I add them, they must give me 180 degrees. And whatever statement I am stating, I also need to put a reason. So it's either you say the sum of interior angles of a triangle or 3 angles of a triangle, and that will be correct. Okay, let's do the first example. So here we have triangle ABC, and we asked to calculate the value of the unknown, meaning we want the value of X because X is unknown. We do not know what is in the place of X, but we do know that at angle B we have 96, at angle C we have 42. So we have to calculate for the value of the unknown. So what does the theorem state? It states that when you have angles, interior angles of a triangle, we add them up and they must give us 180 degrees. And our reason is 3 angles of a triangle, or you can say interior angles of a triangle. Right, so angle A is X, we do not know what that is. Angle B is 96, angle C is 42 degrees, equal to 180 80 degrees. Now we have to solve for the value of x. So we can transpose all these numbers to the side, or you can add them then transpose when you're done. So I'm choosing to transpose. So I have 180 degrees. So I'm going to take the positive 42 to the other side, which changes the sign to be negative 42. Then I'm also going to transpose the positive 96 to the other side, which is going to be negative 96. So I took all the numbers to one side and I'm leaving x alone on one side. So now we're calculating for the value of x. So x is equal to 42 degrees if you calculate it. So x is equal to 42 degrees. So meaning here we have 42 degrees. Right, so let's look at this angle properly. What do you think this triangle is? Look at the angles very, very carefully. These two angles are the same. So which triangle would this be if it has two opposite angles that are the same? I'm giving you 1 second to think. And your time is up. If you said an isosceles, you are correct. So meaning, if these two opposite angles are the same, it simply means that this side and this side is also the same, because the properties of an isosceles states that we have two equal opposite angles. So even the opposite sides of a triangle are also going to be equal. So meaning this is an isosceles triangle. Alright guys, so we have another triangle here and we're going to talk about an exterior angles of a triangle. Right, so this triangle, I usually say that it has a tail. So look, it's a normal triangle, but now it has a tail. So this is called the exterior angle. So exterior angle, it means that it is outside. So exterior means outside. The angle is outside. Then looking at the triangle, we have these two angles right here, and we call them interior angles. So both these angles are interior. So Y and Z are interior, meaning they're inside the triangle. Now I have a very nice way of showing you how exterior angles work of a triangle. Right, so I usually do this. So it works with opposite interior angles of a triangle, and they're equal to the exterior angles of a triangle. So I usually put the mouth here and I put a nose here, but the nose is a plus. It looks like a kite. Yeah. So what happens with this, it means that this angle here and this angle here, we must add them and they must give us the exterior angles of a triangle. So it looks like a face with two eyes and a nose and a mouth. So we add the sum of the two interior angles of a triangle to get our exterior angle. So the theorem states that the exterior angle, which is x, it is equal to the sum of the opposite interior angles of a triangle. And our reason is exterior angles, it's exterior angles of a triangle. That's our reason. So the exterior angles of a triangle are, apologies for that. So the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the two opposite interior angles of a triangle. So that's what it means. It should be opposite interiors of a triangle. That's why I usually draw the smiley face here to show you when I talk about the interior angles of a triangle, I'm talking about these ones. So even if we change the triangle, make it look the other way around, it should always be the two opposite interior angles of a triangle. So when you get such questions, you can draw yourself the nose and the mouth so that you can see where the two angles are.